Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how you can make two types of tulle bows that are quick and easy and there is no sewing required. To make our tulle bows we are going to use a template. I've made this one out of cardboard. You can just use a cardboard box or you can use craft board. I will leave a link in the description to a template that you can cut out and use yourself. The important thing is, because we're using 6-inch tulle, the template has to be higher. So my template is 9.5 inches high, but the most important thing is the width. This is 5 inches wide, and depending on the size of the bow you want to make, you need to cut the width accordingly. So if you want a smaller bow, then obviously you're just going to make it 3 inches or 4 inches, or if you want a larger bow you could make it 6 or 7 inches wide, and that will determine how big your bow is. We've obviously got a pair of scissors and we've got 2 different coloured rolls of tulle. To get started, we're just going to lay our tulle on the table and we're going to place our template on top. Then we're going to proceed to wrap the tulle around the template. I'm going to do this approximately 10 times, but depending on how full and fluffy you want your bow, you could obviously do that more or less. Once you're happy with the amount of tulle on your template, we are just going to take the scissors and trim it off, and then we are also going to cut another length of the tulle as well. To start to form the bow, slide the tulle down the piece of cardboard so it's at the bottom. Now we can push the tulle through the top and we can wrap it around the bottom, and that's going to allow us to tie our bow. Then we're just going to tie that tightly. Now you can determine which side you want to be the front of your bow and which side you want to be the back. So if you've got any loose bits like this, you may want them at the back. So at this point you can decide. Then we're going to tie a knot into there, and then we need to slide off the bow off the template, and then we can open up our bow with the long tails of tulle, wrap those around the middle, and it's just going to hide the knot that's in the middle, and we're just going to wrap it around, and then with the other one we're going to take it in the opposite direction, and again we're just covering up the centre part. Then if we turn it over, we've now got 2 of the tails that we can tie together to make another knot. At this point, if you was going to make a hair clip or you was going to attach it to a hair bubble, you could now attach that to the bow at this point, and then we are going to tie that tightly. Then we can take the scissors and just trim off the excess pieces of tulle. There we have our first style of bow, and then obviously you can fan that out as much as you like. To do the next style of bow, we're going to take the tulle again, we're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to wrap it around approximately 10 times. Once you've wrapped it enough times, we'll trim it off again, cut another length of the tulle, slide the tulle down the template, take in the cut piece of tulle, we're going to tie that through again. Again, at this point we can determine which bit we want to be at the front and which piece we want to be at the back. And if it's easier, while it's on the cardboard template, we can finish it off and wrap the tails around. And again, we'll come down the other way with this one, and then we can flip it over and tie them at the back. And then for this one, we're going to slide it off the template, and now we have the exact same bow as we had this time. So this one's kept the closed edge. For this one, we're going to take the scissors and we're going to cut through the edge of the bows. I'm going to cut through all the wrapped pieces of tulle, and it's going to open up the end of the bow. So as you can see now, all the strands are now individual, and that's going to allow us to like plump out the bow. We'll do the same on the other side. If there's any extra longer bits at this point, you can just trim those off as well. And then we're going to trim off the long pieces of the tulle tails that we have left. And there we can see now we have 2 different types of tulle bows. One has got the closed in edge and makes it look really neat, and this one looks a little bit fluffier because we've cut through the ends, and that's going to allow us to plump out the bows and just make it look a little bit fuller. These are great to go on hair ribbons, hair bubbles. You can even pop them on Christmas presents or even pop them on decor around your home. Hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to make tulle bows. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.